Let's move on now to main topic number 3. And the third main topic today comes to us from Isaac Beebe, who writes, well, John, Pixar has done it again. As of me writing this, Toy Story has a 100% Rotten Tomatoes with 76 critic reviews. How in the world does Pixar manage to continue to squat down and shit out gold and diamonds time after time, except Cars? What are your thoughts on this? All right, thanks a lot for the message, Isaac. And yeah, as of right now, Toy Story 4 is rocking that 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes still. Now, this was taken a little bit earlier this morning. This screenshot was taken a little bit earlier this morning. The total number of critics counted right now is up to 80. For all I know, it may have dipped a little bit. Let me run over right now and just go to Toy Story 4 Rotten Tomatoes and see if it's come off that 100% rating at the moment. And right now, it's still rocking 100%. As of right now, it is still rocking 100%. A few more reviews have been added, so it's still there. Let's wrap our heads around this for a second, folks, okay? Let us wrap our heads around this for a second. Out of the 4 Toy Story films, as of this moment, do you know how rare it is for any wide release film to get and hold a 100% rating? Do you know how rare that is? It never happens. It's exceedingly rare. As of this moment, and again, all it takes is one negative review to pull that 100% down to 99. But for now, the Toy Story franchise, wrap your heads around this. 3 out of the 4 Toy Story movies, as of this moment, hold 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Think about that. Wrap your head around that for a second. And really take a moment and appreciate what that represents. Hardly any films ever, wide release. Some smaller indie films that'll have like 8 reviews on it might have 100%, but I'm talking wide release films. To hold 100% is like finding a unicorn. It's very rare. Okay, maybe 1 out of every, I don't know, 100 films? Less? There are 4 movies in the Toy Story franchise, and as of this moment, 3 of them hold a 100% mark. That's crazy. That's crazy. That doesn't say that they're all perfect movies, but it says that every type of person has enjoyed this movie. Critics who like comic book movies, critics who like period pieces, critics who like documentaries, critics who like biopics, critics who like murder mysteries, critics who like sci-fi movies, critics who like the Running the Gamut, they all liked them. All of them. Every single one of them has at least liked Toy Story 4. And you're talking 3 out of the 4. And the one film that doesn't hold a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is Toy Story 3, which in my opinion is the best of the Toy Stories, holds a measly, pathetic little 98. So right now, out of a possible 400, the Toy Story franchise has 398 out of a possible 400. Again, guys, don't brush this under the rug. Don't overlook this. Take a moment and appreciate the history that we are seeing right now that is absolutely mind-boggling. No other franchise has anything close to this. Nothing Star Wars, nothing Marvel, nothing DC, nothing James Bond, nothing Bourne, nothing anything. Nothing comes close to this. Out of a possible 400, right now the Toy Story franchise is holding a 398. That's dumb, all right? That's just plain dumb. Anyway, how does Pixar, I should say, continue to crank out this kind of excellence? You know, Rob and I discussed this the other day, and you'll notice nobody else is here today because Fridays I give everybody the day off, but Rob and I discussed this the other day that right from the beginning, and I know it's dangerous ever saying John Lasseter's name right now, but from the beginning, John Lasseter created an environment, created a creative culture. He may have done some other things with their environment and culture, but that's a discussion for another time. Creatively, he created a culture that became a real growing field for ideas. And the whole philosophy they have there of how they come up with their ideas. And it's never one guy sitting in his office who comes up with everything. It's a bunch of their creative giants getting together over weeks and months and years and really hammering out idea. And with Pixar, it always comes down to this: story first. Whether you like them or not is another issue. But it's always story first. They can come up with cute ideas for characters. They can come up with cool ideas for gags. But to them, it's always story first. And their philosophy has always been, if you have the great story and you come up with the great story first, then everything else can much more easily come in line. The humor, the charm, all that kind of stuff, that will come in. That will come. That will fall into place if you do things in the right order. And the first thing is great story. And that's why Pixar 5 years ago could have done a cash grab and just made, let's just crank out Toy Story 4. Put Woody and Buzz back in there, lots of people. No. They waited years and years and years until they had the right story. And I haven't even seen this movie yet. I've been invited to a couple of press screenings, but I think I might hold out until opening night and just go see it with Ann on opening night at the AMC Burbank 16. But that's the thing. They waited and they waited and they waited until they had their perfect story. And once they had their story, then they put the wheels in motion. And that ideally is what every studio should do. Ideally, that's what every studio should do with all their films. But Pixar has just done it in such a way that has always been their guiding North Star and continues to be, even in the post-John Lasseter era. So it is incredible to see. We are witnessing history like this. I haven't seen Toy Story 4 yet. I'm hearing nothing but good things. Can't wait for it. It's amazing. God, I'm excited about this. But basically, to me, Isaac, how does Pixar continue to do this? They put story first. They always put story first. It's never hey, I came up with this character that's a bouncing ball named Willy Bouncy. Oh, that sounds like it'll sell a lot of toys. Build a movie around that. They never do that. They start with story, and that's why they're so successful.